you're going to see that the greatest coaches don't leave any weak links.
I think, some of the stuff that you guys are saying and some of the stuff that we see online, like, to me, a lot of it is very similar. Like some of the stuff that's shared by like Joel Seedman. I know that people think that guy's on the complete opposite end of what you guys talk about. And I can understand why, because you see he does like a half squat or quarter squat or something like that in comparison to what you guys do. But most of what I see that you guys are showing or what you're demonstrating usually is done with like hardly any resistance. Like there's not a lot of weight. Now these exercises are still really hard, like a Nordic or something like that. It still requires a lot of strength. And even some of the exercises where you're doing more full range of motion, and I've seen you wear weight vests, and I've seen you hold kettlebells, and I've seen you do lots of stuff where there is weight. And for the given exercise, it is challenging, but it's not like you're asking anybody to squat like 3 plates with their heels elevated on a slant board and squatting down. So when I look at a lot of this stuff, I'm like, oh, Ben is saying something very similar to some of these guys over here. And some of the stuff I heard years ago for Kelly Starrett, that falls in line with some of these other principles. And I realize like there's, some gray area where people disagree and things like that. But I just want to make it clear to people that a lot of the exercise that you guys are showing where there's this kind of full range of motion, you're not really asking people to do anything that they're not prepared to do. And I just want to finish by saying this as well. I think that sometimes people, when they see the program that you guys are putting forward, I think they want to try everything under the sun. They want to get to it right away. And you can do more harm than good if you're not careful, because you probably have never done a lot of these things before. You probably never addressed some of this. So if you're somebody that's looking to get into doing some of these things, in my opinion, you don't need a lot of weight. It's great to have progression. It's great to work on being stronger at the movement. That will probably mean that you're more proficient at it. But in addition to that, just pick like 1 or 2 things to do. Do them a couple times a week, but really pay attention to how your body is feeling in response to it.
Yeah, that's why we use the sled every day. The sled allows you to get that heavy ego output, the hormones going at your level. We have 6 plates in there on the sled right now for the backward. That's where we're more likely to load up. And then it's obsessive attention on the quality of movement and building up on the perfect rep. So you're chasing the perfect rep before you're chasing the load. And then I'm being sensible about what I put out online. So I actually do some pretty impressive weights on a lot of this stuff. But I have to know that people online are going to try the impressive weight before they achieve the perfect rep. And if you understand how muscles, tendons, and ligaments work, we're actually growing and building tendon and ligament. But that process takes longer. You get more, once you understand this inverse relationship on just a conceptual level, that you think with it and you realize that muscles get blood flow more easily and they can grow more. But tendons do get some blood flow and can grow, but ligaments get even less blood flow. But all of this can grow, and tendons and ligaments can hypertrophy, but it takes longer. So if you're seeing full range of motion exercises, you're looking at a longer progression. And in some cases, it can affect the muscles, like we've seen now with the VMO, which helps have less knee pain. That gets emphasized most when you're at 140 degrees. It's almost like when you're at full bend, it's almost exclusively VMO to get out of it. So if you're now bouncing out of the bottom, at what point are you actually loading the muscle?
Hey, I know you're enjoying this episode, but listen up. We partner with Merrick Health. They're a telehealth network owned by Derek for more plates, more dates. But literally, the amazing thing about Merrick Health and getting your labs done with them is that when you get your labs done, you work with a client care coordinator that goes over your labs and gives you specific supplementation or nutrition protocols or potentially hormonal protocols for your levels. The problem with a lot of these other telehealth networks is that when they do these things, they give everybody the same exact things, which actually can hurt you long-term more than help you. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, that's over at MarrickHealth.com. That's MAREK Health.com. And if you already know what labs you want to get, at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all of those labs. If you don't know where to start, head over to MarrickHealth.com/PowerProject. And you guys will get directed straight to the Power Project panel that has 26 different labs that will cover everything you need. And at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of that panel. Again, MarrickHealth.com, links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
So when we do these exercises, it's a different thought with the weights. The weight may not be as impressive as you could do if you were bouncing out of the bottom. So the level of coaching detail in our program is insane because of understanding the science of what we're trying to do. Then you see someone at the pinnacle, you would look at Tom Platz, who we talk about. And he has the most muscular legs of all time, or up there. I'm not going to debate. That's not the purpose of anytime you say the greatest, he's up there, some of the most muscular legs of all time. And he embraced those full ranges of motion. But in his teens, he was in an Olympic weightlifting gym. So it's not like he just jumped. It's not like he spent a bunch of time in one range with super heavy loads and then tried to jump the same loads to a full range of motion. And you see, Mark really touched on this. Joel Seedman, Kelly Starrett, knees over toes guy, whatever it is, you're going to see common denominators, and you're going to see that the greatest coaches don't leave any weak links. And that's one reason I have tremendous respect for Louis Simmons, because he was a powerlifting coach. But if you really dig into the data, you see that he was innovating certain solutions for full knee bend. He innovated the reverse hyper, which trains really like a different area than a squat and a deadlift. And those are things I look for. And I see that the best coaches are not leaving any weak links, mastering the full chain. So we tend to use the sled for the partial ranges of motion, which gets the blood flow and the loading and the strength to then be able to get into deeper ranges of motion. But we only do, like, across our weekly schedule, we do most exercises like once a week, maybe twice a week. But the sled we do every day. You see what I mean? So the sled, you can recover faster. But these other things, we're putting in the stimulus with the best form we can. We're trying to get measurably stronger over time. But we're not overtraining those things because they take time to recover. So hopefully that kind of explains that.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel because we continue to bring you peak content on this channel. Obviously, you guys are here. You guys have watched the whole video. So like, comment, subscribe. All right? See you later.